Hello, BookTube. I come to you today with another tag. Several of you have asked over the course of our little 2 month journey here whether or not I have ever been a teacher. I have been a teacher many times. I've taught all kinds of things, from Greek mythology to science fiction to English literature. But the thing I've taught the most, formally and informally, has been writing. So I gravitated towards something I found called the writer life tag. And I thought I'd get right to it. We'll see if we're on the same page, as it were. The first one is write fuel. What do you eat or drink while writing? You can't eat or drink while writing, since both require hands and attention. Eating and drinking can only be done if you stop writing. So I don't, and neither should you. Write sounds. Do you listen? What do you listen to while writing? I prefer Baroque music, but it doesn't matter. The writers who spend huge amounts of time constructing elaborate playlists are in fact avoiding writing. Number three, write vice. The biggest distraction. I don't get distracted. Number four, write horror. What was one thing that happened to you that was horrible while writing? It was years and years ago. I was writing a novel set in the Italian Renaissance, and I was doing it on a boxy old word processor, the type that had a little window that showed you only 3 lines, and it had a printing slot in the back. It was only barely portable. And I blundered and erased 2 chapters. And in a desperate attempt to get them back, I erased 2 more. So I ended up erasing 4 chapters from that book. That was very frustrating. Let's see here. Number 5, write joy. What's the best thing that's ever happened to you while writing? Well, it has nothing to do with writing. It was just a coincidence. I was writing, it was years and years ago, I was doing a book review, a long book review, and I had recently adopted a middle-aged beagle who had had a very rough life, and I was giving him his space. I was letting him adapt and acclimate. And I was in the middle of writing that book review when he suddenly vaulted up onto the couch and sort of leaned against me. And with the sidelong look in his eyes was, this has brought me punishment in the past. And of course, it didn't bring him punishment. Instead, I put my arm around him and I told him, all the things that were bad in your life are over. And it was wonderful. Just opened my heart like a blossom. Let's see here. Write crew. Who do you communicate with while writing? Well, I don't tend to communicate with anybody while writing, but the thing I love, it's one of life's joys, and it almost never happens, is when I can write in a room with other writers while they're writing. That, it's very hard to arrange. It almost never works, but boy, is it great when it does. Write secret. What is your secret to writing success? Writing, as opposed to not writing. Works wonders. Write inspiration. What makes you productive? Deciding to be productive. I decide what I'm going to write, I sit down, and I write it. Amazing how that works. Writing pet peeve. What thing do writers do that you find most annoying? Not writing. When someone who identifies as a writer, talks about writing, loves writing, doesn't write, comes up with reasons not to write. Today's not good. I'm feeling a little under the weather. The lighting's not right. I've got people coming over to visit in 2 days. Whatever the stupid reason is, that's what annoys me the most about writers, when they don't write. And the last one is write words, which you read something that you've written. And I have, as a book review, of course, let's see here, Christian Science Monitor. It's a review of Ingrid Carlson's biography of Raoul Wallenberg, the Swedish envoy and humanitarian. It goes like this. I won't read the whole thing, of course. It's 1,000 words. But there's a heart-stopping moment at the halfway point in Raoul Wallenberg, Ingrid Carlsberg's biography of the Swedish envoy and humanitarian. It's 1944, and thousands of Hungarian Jews have been assembled at a Budapest train station so that they can be crammed into boxcars for transport to Poland. Every adult on those train platforms knows that almost certain death awaits them at the end of that journey, and yet the orders have been given. The doors loom, and there seems to be no hope. But suddenly, hope arrives. not wearing bright armor or riding a tank, but unobtrusively from the rear. A 30-year-old man, balding and dressed like a civil servant, elbows his way to the front of the crowds and begins addressing individuals seemingly at random. You there, I have your name. Where is your document? According to Karlberg, bewildered men reached into their pockets and held out letters of any kind, at which point the young man would say, "Excellent, next." Under the very eyes of patrolling Nazi and Hungarian fascist guards, the man was able to save some 500 people that day out of the 17,000 waiting to be transported. No fisticuffs, no histrionics, just effective and accurate bureaucracy combined with a cool, almost incomprehensible bravery. And then I ended the piece this way. Karlberg's biography stands as one of the most eloquent of the many thousands of tributes, large and small, that have been paid to the memory of Wallenberg since his disappearance. Among those tributes should have been a medal, a parade, and a peaceful old age. But courage wisely never counts on those. That is the end of the writer life tag. I found a bunch of writing tags I want to do in Seriatim, but this will be it for today. You've heard me complain enough. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Book 2.